So I have a little favor to ask of the community. If you could fan out and just a little break from the politics and ask the other readers a question. So I'm going to read a little poem first. It says, alone in the midst of men, alone, mid hills and valleys fair, alone upon a ship at sea, alone, alone and everywhere. Oh, many folks I see and know, so kind they are I scarce can tell. But now alone on land and sea, in spite of all, I'm left to dwell. In cities large and countries lane, around the world 'tis all the same. Across the sea from shore to shore, alone, alone forevermore. This person is someone who wrote this poem in sort of a state of despondency, a state of their life had just taken one bad turn after another. They started out, they were born here. They achieved some success, small successes along the way. And then life would come along and say, yeah, no, bad things afoot. Life happens to everybody, but this person was trying to really make it in the world. They had talent and they achieved some success, and then bad things would happen. And they achieve a little success, and then bad things would happen. And they achieve a little success. It was never really big, dynamic, global success, but it was a success nonetheless. And then life would set in and something awful would go on. Then they joined an order called the Golden Dawn. This was like a Freemason type of thing, little secret society type things. And they got their artwork published in a couple of, or displayed in a couple of galleries. And then this person met another person. She then for a very small payment, undertook a work that would live on forever. His name was Arthur Waite. Her name was Pamela Coleman Smith. Now, you may know his name before you know hers, because she was given a small payment to paint 78 paintings that turned into the Rider-Waite deck. So she painted these 78 paintings underneath the guidance in the sort of the overlook or overseeing of Arthur Waite, which is the Rider-Waite deck. The writer is the publisher, R-I-D-E-R. Writer is the publisher who published this deck, and Waite is the author or the inspiration of this deck. Pamela Coleman Smith is the one who actually drew all the paintings. So I wanted to know, because this was her poem. This is the poem she wrote. She died, they call penniless and all but forgotten. She had a very hard life towards the end. She moved from here to there. She traveled a lot. She really couldn't find her place in the world. This is her most successful project, and yet she received very little money for doing it. He received most of the credit, of course, because he just did. He was also a Freemason. He was also part of the Golden Dawn. And this deck, as I posted on my community page, they say is actually just a lot of the images in the Rider-Waite, because she just painted them. So these were not her ideas. This was supposedly his ideas. But a lot of these were from the, how do you say it, Solabuca? It was a deck in the 1400s. That a lot of these images look just like those. And so there was like the Queen of Wands or the Queen of something that sits off to the side, and it looks just like what's in the Rider-Waite. They might have just tweaked a couple of the images. And like the Three of Swords looks like the Three of Wands, and So they took some of the images or some of the inspiration from that deck from the 1400s and published this one in 1909 or 1908. I think it was 1909, December 1909. So she died. They said right now, if she has a gravesite, no one knows where it is because it was nameless. She was just sort of put in the ground. She really didn't have family. She didn't have people who watched out for her. She had one roommate, I think, towards the end of her life, but that was it. You know, she didn't really have success like he did. He got this. She drew this and then got barely anything for it. She died in 1951. So, I mean, this, when you kind of think about it, it's not really that long ago, like 60 years, but, you know. She lived in the sort of modern age. So, 1951 is when she died. She was 73. And she was pretty much forgotten by history, except for her 78 paintings. These lived on forever. So, I just wanted to know, why didn't she receive success? Now, fan out to the other readers. See if they'll take on the task of seeing why she didn't achieve success and he did. You don't have to ask Jen Lin. She's already done the reading. When we were on Skype together, she did the reading because I asked her right there. So she did that one already. So I got her answer. But I want to know what everybody else thinks about why Pamela Coleman Smith never achieved success of one of the most successful decks of all time. All of the decks, I have 68 different decks. All of them are based upon this. So I just wanted to know, why didn't she achieve success?